Morning. Happy Monday. Hope you've had a really, really good weekend. It's manky weather again. I'm so ready for some sunshine now. If you're watching me from co-working, hi, I'll be there in less than an hour. Okay, so me and Jane have just run down the garden with this tea, and so I'm all like this. So today I want to talk about resilience and grit in business. And out of all of the qualities you could have as a business owner, for me, this is the one that from the moment I meet you, I will kind of know whether you're going to create a successful business or not. And that sounds really ridiculous. But the idea of how well you get stuck into things, how much you will follow things through, it doesn't matter how good your business idea is if you don't have this quality. And honestly, it's hugely important. Good morning, my Jenna. You're right, my darling. So this one. And lots of people kind of think they're resilient. They bounce back from something that's happened in their life, etc. That is not necessarily the same as the day-to-day stuff, the day-to-day grit that you need to keep running a business when you're not sure that it's working. You might not be making the money that you want to make yet. Things don't feel like they're moving forwards. And so it's this day-to-day stuff that I'm talking about. And it's it's all about the mental resilience. So the physical showing up thing is a part of it, but the drive to do that in the first place is what I'm talking about here. It's this idea that we can't control all the stuff that happens to us, but what we can do is decide how we're going to react to it, and we have full control over how we react. Good morning. Who is the sunshine? Don't know, 'cause it hasn't come up yet. Still, because Facebook's miles behind by the looks of things. If you can click at the top and tell StreamYard your name, it will show it for me. Hang on. Kelly, good morning, my love. Are you coming to co-working this morning? We're at Balls over at 10:30. So yeah, this idea of not being able to control things, resilience involves your behaviors, your thoughts, and your actions. And this is something that anyone can develop. You can build this stuff like throughout your life. Morning, Rach. How are you, my love? Lovely to see you. Morning, Terry. Oh, there's lots of you on this morning. Is it just because you've noticed that I'm here, or that you really like this topic? Like, that's interesting for us to know when we're looking at like planning our future topics. So, when I talk about grit, there are kind of 5 characteristics that I will talk about um, that are all really important in this determination of whether you're going to be successful or not. So, the first one is perseverance. And I watch lots of people fall at this first hurdle because if something doesn't work, they will not carry on, not retry, not give it another go. So the idea of perseverance is this continued effort to do or achieve something despite the difficulty. So it doesn't matter if this is a hard thing or an easy thing. And this can be stuff like finding the right work-life merge for you. So not balance, because it don't balance. Our work and our life will never balance while we run a business because it's just not possible. So I talk a lot about how you make the merge, how you know that some days you might spend more on work and some days on home, and how you kind of flow it all together. Do you like my flow? So it's whether it's finding something like that, whether it's learning a new technical skill. Ignore the doorbell. I think Tom's testing if it fixes. Or I've got a client that's arrived. I'll assume it's my husband. It says it don't work at the minute. So whether it's perseverance to learn a new technical skill, and this is one like I will show people how to do something. If you don't practice it regularly, it doesn't exist. So next time you need to come around to it, it's like you give up before you start. Jenna, you said something to me the other day about you wish you knew the tech stuff I know. It's like I weren't born knowing it. It's very much I will learn it and I will keep learning it until I've got it to a position that helps me in my business. So it's that perseverance of keep doing it. It's that how you keep doing something until you have nailed it, until you've made it fit in a way that you want to. So perseverance is crucial for your growth. The next characteristic, really, of resilience, of grit, is resilience, and that's what we sort of talk about as a as a whole thing, but actually I feel like this is one part of grit. So perseverance, resilience. So resilience is that bounce back ability. If something doesn't go how you planned, if you launch a course and no one buys it, if you have a great new idea and no one seems interested in it, if you spend hours making a lead magnet but it doesn't go anywhere, it's like, how do you bounce back um, from either when you fail or from when you come across a challenge that just seems too tough in the first place? It's how are you resilient enough to keep trying that, to do something different, to not give up. Like my kids' school has values that they live by, and one of them is never give up, and that's resilience. Like it's never giving up. It might be about making choices to do something differently, but it's not just giving up because it didn't work how you thought it was going to work. Resilience is a key part of grit. The third one is courage, and having the courage to try something and fail. Lots of business owners stop before they get there. So lots of people that I work with fill their time with things like getting their social media right or their email marketing right, when actually what they need to be doing is finding clients, is having the courage to go out and actively ask people for work, ask people if there's something they can help them with. And that bit of courage is the trickiest part for lots of people, because it's that crossing that line into saying, I'm available. Could I help you with this? Do you know I do this? Would you like to work with me? And that would you like to work with me question, or it costs this much. Shall I book you in? The courage to ask for the business, to ask for the work, is a huge part of grit. And I was thinking like tenacity and grit. It's that idea of crossing over that uncomfortable line almost to say, can I help you with something? Terry is a great example. Terry sent me a message on Friday, I'll get back to you properly today, that picked up on something I'd asked her about before. And then it's sort of gone out my brain because I'm really busy. And she came back to me and said, can we have a chat about this? I'm like, yes, we definitely can. But I wouldn't have thought about it unless she'd come back to me. So, like, well done, Terry. It's a proper just the courage to put it back out there again. I've had loads of people like who could guest blog for me, for example, who could do some kind of collaboration with me. They hadn't had the courage to like reach out and ask me directly, like, do we want this? Whereas every single one of you know that as soon as I put a course out or something, I'm like, right, who wants to be part of this? And lots of you say no, but lots of you say yes. And it's that courage to recognize that no one can buy something if you're not offering it to them. And no one can help you create something better if you won't put out your first draft of it. It's this idea that if you write a book, it's not the first draft that goes to publish, it's the courage to put that out in the first place and then build on it and create something better. And if you're scared of failure, it halts your progress before you even start. And then what's the point of it all in the first place? What's the point of running your business if you're not going to take that step into getting clients, getting money? You need money to run your business. Um, Grittier people, I want to be a gritty person. Grittier people take on things that might scare them. Like I have stepped up my game sometimes into that next level and shit myself as I'm doing it. Um, and these are small examples. Like the first time I put an 8 session client package together, shit myself at the thought of someone buying that. Now, hardly anybody takes less than an 8 session package and it becomes a norm. When I got the big council contract, that changed my business like totally. I shit myself when we realised we'd got that. And then it just integrates into your life and becomes entirely normal and it raises your standards a little bit. Like there are companies I won't work with now that won't pay like that kind of rate. It's really, really interesting, but it's that you are allowed to be scared and do it anyway. And that's a really, really important thing. So thanks, Terry. Just had a notification popped up. And so did you, H. Oh, so did you, Emma. Sorry, Emma. Interesting. So I'm live on a Monday morning, almost always at 9:30 in here. Are you coming to co-working, Emma? Because I'm sure you're on the list. So yeah, courage is the third one of grit. And I think I've said all of these are my favourite ones so far because I think they all apply so much. But the next one is passion. If you are running your business and you freaking hate it, it's never going anywhere. And that's not the same as falling in and out of love with it. Again, that's that whole roller coaster bit. That's not the same as that, but the passion for what the outcome is. So whenever I do my networking sessions, one of the things that I always end up blabbering on about is like my why I do all of this is watching women grow. The excitement at the weekend, we had one of our ladies post in our private group about she's hit £1 million in sales. So she's a travel agent. She's hit £1 million in sales since she started her business, and I knew her right back then. And things like that, like watching her grow to leave her job to do this, she's employing someone now. Like watching that and having that shared with us is everything. And that passion, um, sorry, I'm just reading Emma's thing. Hang on. She's off to Twickenham. Charming. Couldn't figure out to cancel it. Just text me and I'll cancel it, but it's on Eventbrite as your ticket. I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, passion. So yeah, if you are not driven by something that's a bigger thing than what your business does, because what my business does is teach things. It teaches a lot of mental health stuff. It teaches loads of business tech. It teaches the stuff like I'm teaching now. Um, it teaches how to do strategy and how to plan your business and how to implement stuff. All of that, it might not be the teaching that I'm passionate about. I actually love the teaching. The slides, when I'm making slides, I am so miserable. I detest them with every fibre of my body. When I rock up to teach them and I watch you all like learning something new and seeing how you implement it in your business later, that's the passion. So for me, when I talk about passion and grit, it's remembering every single day when you're running your business, when you're sewing, when you're baking, when whatever it is that you do, when you're chasing clients for money, it's remembering like, what is the reason I'm doing this? And being able to hook onto that. Sometimes I'll go back through my photos and look at little networking events or little my reviews or testimonials of ways I've changed people. And that's the passion. That's all I need to be able to motivate myself that little bit more. So stuff like that is so important. So far we've got perseverance, resilience, courage, passion, and then this last one's an interesting one. So it's being conscientious. And that sounds like a bit of a get out type one. And conscientiously working is kind of thought as tirelessly working to do a good job, or being conscientious makes me think of following the rules and doing what's right. But in this context, it's kind of a different meaning. So when discussing this as it relates to grit, the value of being conscientious here kind of relates to the planning that you do and following through on your commitments. And that is really important. So we do things like around strategy day, or we do a quarterly planning in our group that's online where you can come and join us and plan for your next 3 months. But it's the planning and then it's the follow through. And that is a huge part of grit. It's that almost commitment to yourself. It's working to do what you said you were going to do. Because you said it for a reason, like we don't just make our plans up out of the air. We said we were going to do that for a reason. So whether it's growing your audience or your email list, or whether it is deciding to create some actual offers that you will then go and sell, that conscientiousness is following through on what I said. And that is what helps you to stay motivated to like tackle the hard things that are necessary for the growth. We all know that the stuff we don't want to do is the stuff that makes us grow generally. And it's really, really important. So if we talk about ways of developing grit, so developing these 5 characteristics, they're really easy in the sense that it's really important to find your passion. Like, find the real reason you started your business. And you might have to dig around a little bit with that. You might need a coaching session, but find what it is that when you do this, it lights you up. Like, that's so important. If you don't have enough passion for it, you won't perform to your best and you'll lose interest. You'll lose the drive. The next one is practice, and people hate this one. But if you don't do something regularly enough until you get good at it, then it's always going to stay hard. It's like you don't have to think about how to tie your shoelaces or drive a car or clean your teeth. But sometimes watching my kids clean the teeth is freaking painful. It's like it's like I have to remind them how to do it properly in a way that I don't have to think about, because it just is a practice thing that comes with doing it over and over again. I jump on to do people's texts sometimes and like they're astonished. But it's just the thing of I can do it and you can do it, but I do it regularly and I make myself do it regularly. So yeah, it all requires practice. Um, Kind of linked to that first one about finding your passion, finding your purpose, like finding things that give you a sense of purpose. I was talking about this with a therapy client the other day. For me, achievement is purpose a lot of the time. I need to feel like I've ticked things off, even if they're not important things necessarily. Feeling a sense of achievement aligns with my feeling of purpose. Um, find out what your purpose is, what it is that drives you further. Give yourself time. Like, this is not an overnight thing, because practice is not an overnight thing. So give yourself time to be able to learn the stuff. But again, to practice the stuff, you have to do things over and over again to get good at them. So yeah, the time thing is, no one achieves success overnight. Whatever you see out there, it's not true. What you want to see is your business grow, and then it might plateau for a bit, and then grow and plateau for a bit and grow again. And if you're on the plateau for a little while, it feels like everything you're doing might be pointless. But it's that recognition of, take that time, use that time to be learning something else. And that can be really, really important. And then the last bit, the last bit is my favorite. It's like, immerse yourself in a gritty culture. Surround yourself with people who help you develop grit. Surround yourself with those people who go and get what the heck it is they want. It's one of those things in our group that I really push for our pro members, is like, how are we supporting other people? How are we showing up for ourselves and therefore for others? We've just created some cohorts for like a mastermind magic group that I'm running. And already some of the people in the cohorts I am watching challenging other people in there and almost pushing this gritty culture, which is something that I wholeheartedly believe in. I've said it right at the start of this video, and I'll say it again now, is that I can predict whose businesses will do well by how gritty they are when we talk about them, how much I can suggest an idea to them and they run with it, or they come back with something that they've done even better. There are people with really small businesses that I can see are going to be much bigger. And there are other people, the people who say, I can't invest in that. And I don't even just mean money, like money is a big thing. And I do believe you need to invest in people, the people around you, to grow. But I won't invest time in that or energy in that. There's a couple in our group that might invest money in it, but if you're not investing time and energy in it, then it's not all going to go together, because grit is not money. Grit is determination and perseverance and resilience and courage and passion and conscientiousness. All right. Okay, so Kelly's not coming co-working either. Well, ladies, will you cancel tickets? Like, I'll cancel them. Jay's just done them, but it was full, I think. So it means other people sometimes can't get tickets to stuff. So that's really, really important to me. You can cancel them on Eventbrite yourself, or just drop us a message so that we can let other people in. And let someone else in last night, because I had a feeling that we'd get a space. So thank you. No, I'm not being a cow. Just, yeah, it's important. Have I got a course on finding purpose? I think that's a really hard thing to talk about. I can suggest some books and things on it, but I think writing a course on that would be really hard, because it's so individual, and it is about digging around into what lights me up when I do it. Yeah, like mine is definitely around teaching, but it's around watching what happens after I've taught. It's watching where these people grow, and it's community as well. Community is a huge part of my purpose. To say how much I like being on my own, it's really important for me to have a community around me. Again, that gritty culture, dead important. All right, that's my lot. I'm going to neck this cup of tea. And then for all of you who are already at co-working, I know there's a load of you having breakfast there. I will see you in about 10. I know I said 10 minutes. I'll be leaving in 10 minutes. I'll see you in about 20. What have I got coming up? So next week, if you're on the Social B training, that's face to face. We're doing that at Whitwell. So my Facebook Live next week, if you're around, is 2 o'clock. not 9:30 because I've got some training on. And then the week after, it's our monthly meetup. So if you've not been to one of those before, I'm not sure if there's even still spaces left. There are 35 spaces, and I think they might have sold out. So if you can't come, please cancel it because I know that there are people waiting for this. Yeah, our women's network is 2 weeks today as well. All right, have the best week. Monday is my favourite. It's all full of possibilities, and who knows what on earth I'm going to dream up this week, and that's my favourite part. Jay's laughing her head off behind me because she dreads what happens in the week. All right, have a good one, and I will see you either in 20 minutes or bye.